Hello, everyone. Am I audible? Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, hi, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to the session, Internship Toolkit, Find and Secure the Right Role. It's part of the Career Services Office's Summer Development Program. I'm Shiza Said, and I'm from the LUMS Career Services Office. I'm joined here by my team. They will be introducing themselves shortly. The session is designed to help you guys start your internship journey with clarity and confidence. If you're unsure of whether you even need an internship or not, and if you are sure that you need an internship but don't know how to apply and what sort of strategy you should adopt, then this is the session for you. Today, we'll break down what makes an internship valuable, how to build a strong profile, and how to make the most of this experience. Everything is tailored to wherever you are in your academic journey right now. And before beginning, I would like to share some webinar ground rules. The chat is for questions. So any question that you have at any time during the session, you can drop it in the chat box and we'll take it from there towards the end of the session. I would really appreciate if everybody is very respectful and professional. We would like that you keep the chat focused to the topic at hand so that it's beneficial for everybody. And lastly, this is an interactive and informative session. So we would really want that you interact with us and take notes, ask as many questions as you want so that we can help you. Okay. I hope my screen is visible. So, starting off with by the end of this session, what you guys should aim to get out of this importance of internships, obviously, why internships are necessary, why should you even consider applying for them, what value is it bringing to your career path, even if you don't want to go into the industry right after you graduate. Let's suppose you want to end up in postgrad or something. So, we'll also be discussing why internships are necessary for that. Next, you're going to be able to build a good winning application. We'll also briefly talk about how to craft a strong resume, why is it important, LinkedIn profile. I know a lot of students think that LinkedIn is something that's for professionals and people who have been in the industry for a couple of years, but no, in this day and age, in this digital day and age, it's important for everybody to have a LinkedIn profile. And of course, throughout the different documents and application materials that we'll be talking about, we'll also tell you how to bring those elements into your interviews and how to prepare for those. Next, you'll also be able to find out how to look for the right opportunities, whether it's through the services, the resources that the CSO provides, or through independent research. Next up, briefly, we're also going to talk about how to evaluate offers. Now, this is going to, we're going to be covering this a bit more in detail later on, but this is going to help you basically assess if you get an offer, how should you decide whether this is the right internship for you or not, whether this organization is right for you or not, whether this role is right for you or not. So all of that will be discussed later on as well. And lastly, of course, since we are conducting this presentation, we're going to also tell you how we can help you through the tools, resources, and a plethora of other services that we have available here. So starting off with why is an internship important? And the reason why we want to cover this is because a lot of the times students think that getting a good GPA, getting, being academically sound and having your academic qualifications sorted is the most as like important aspect of your university life or the most important part in getting somewhere in terms of job, in terms of masters or stuff like that. But internships play a very, very important role. Not only are you putting into practice what you've learned in class, but you're also going to be understanding what the real world is like. For example, if the career path that you think that you want to go into, you might not really know what is really happening in the field out there, in the industry out there. So internships are really good in that regard. So, yes, why do an internship? Of course, as I've repeated multiple times, experiential learning. Internships are your way of putting whatever you've learned in class, whether it's purely theoretical, whatever you've studied, um, all of that theory, all of that learning knowledge that happens in the class. Internships are your way of understanding how to apply those things. Now, I know a lot of students often think Okay, so internships are more so for students who are from majors that have technical aspects or for careers that are technical, but that's not really the case. Even a social science major needs an internship as much as, a CS major, because you are in some way or the other going to be putting whatever you've learned in class or through your 14, 16 years of education into practice. Sometimes what you've learned in class isn't directly related to the work that you're doing, but through an internship, you can see, okay, this is the thing that I worked in, this is the project that I worked on in my class, and these are the skill set. These are the skills that I've gained from it, and this is how I can apply all of these skill set to the role that I'm interested in or to the area of interest. Next up, career exploration, obviously. So this happens a lot when we're counseling students. I know that जब आप major choose करते हो, तो you obviously want to choose the major with this intention that this is what I'm going to study, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. But it's okay to be confused. Okay, I've studied this major for 2, 3 years. Do I even want to pursue this as part of my do I even want to pursue this as a career? And that's okay. It's okay to have that little bit of confusion. Internships are something that are going to help you gain more clarity on that. So through an internship, for example, let's suppose you are an ACF major, an accounting and finance major, and throughout your life you've been told that okay, you can work in a bank, and banking is a job, or it's a sector that you're really interested and excited about. But maybe you don't know how bankers work or how the banking sector operates. Internship is going to be your avenue to really explore what really happens in a bank or what really happens in that role within a bank. And that's going to give you more clarity whether you want to go ahead with this or not. And of course, if you're doing an internship very early on before, let's suppose, graduating, that's going to give you a good chance to pivot as well. I mean, not that it's a very good thing to do कि आप बहुत late decide करो, but doing internships early on really help you with that decision making. Thirdly, skill development, of course. A lot of the times, this is I feel like a very recurring thing that whatever knowledge, whatever understanding happens in class, sometimes it might not help you, especially for very non technical majors. It might not help you develop those technical and professional competencies, right? For example, if we're talking about some skills like project management or stakeholder management, these type of skills are what you'll be able to develop if you're doing an internship of that sort, or if these are the skills that you want to enhance and develop sometime in the future. Fourthly, we have network building. Of course, if as an undergrad student who still hasn't graduated, you are interning somewhere, this is your first opportunity, one of the first opportunities for you to really set your foot into the industry, find out people who are working in same roles and in same industry as you, connect with them. Of course, through alumni connections, that can also happen. But network building एक वो वाहिद चीज है जो कि आपको short term में भी फायदा पहुंचा रही है, and of course in the long term as well. So that is something that's really important, because by the time you graduate, you will have developed a good network. And through that network, you can come across opportunities, you can come across people who can guide you, mentor you better. So all of that really helps in your long-term career planning. Second, we have confidence building, of course, apart, alongside other skills that you're gaining through internships, whether those are soft skills, technical skills. जो internship करके आपके अंदर confidence आता है ना to really understand if this career path, if this functional role is right for you. That I feel like is there's no match for that, because you are very eager to enter the field. You're very eager to learn, and the way internships usually are structured, those are good learning opportunities. Next, we have career acceleration. Of course, I know this isn't going to apply to everybody, but those who are in their last year or are doing an internship at some point after they've graduated, internships are a very good way of landing some full-time roles and offers, or long-term mentorship opportunities. So that is also something that can help. Okay. Uh, Moving on to the other one. Yes. So now we're going to move on to the application toolkit. This is a series of documents, some materials that we feel like you need to know, you need to understand before you plan your internship application. And Aisha is going to take it from here.
Yes, I know everyone. So talking about the application toolkit, where the application toolkit consists of the main tools, or you can say the main ingredients that are required for your application as an intern. So what are those main tools or documents that you need? The first one is your resume, because that's the first thing the recruiter would get to know from your end. The second one is your LinkedIn profile, because there are a few things that you can't include in the resume. So for that detailed description, it's the LinkedIn resource that we use. The third one is the cover letter. Please note that for every internship, you need to have a customized cover letter that Sultan will be briefing you about. And then lastly is your portfolio. Portfolio is an addition to your resume and your LinkedIn profile, which helps you showcase your skills. So moving towards the first tool, which is your resume. So resume is a concise piece of document, ideally a one page or maximum a two-page document which outlines your academic background and what you have done in professional capacity as a student. So for that, we have a resume template that you can use. If you don't want to use the LUMS resume template, you can use ones that are popular in or recommended by different Ivy League universities. However, we recommend that you keep it a clean and concise template and don't use very fancy templates that are out there on the internet. Now, once you have made your resume, we would encourage that you get it reviewed professionally. So, who are the person you can get your resume reviewed? The first one is the CSO team itself. Then, from semester start, we'll be having our own career peer tutors. Those are students like you who will be trained to review these resumes. So, you can get your resumes reviewed from them. Thirdly, first, our Gramani school, we have HSS Career Center. You can go to them. For Sasol, you have Imran Saab, you can go to them. Or similarly, there are other resources on campus as well who you can get a professional resume reviews from. However, we encourage that you come to us because we review resumes very frequently and are trained to do that as well. Now, coming on to the ongoing updates. Your resume is a live document. Please keep that in mind. It's not like you have made your resume once and then you can continue using that for a long period of time. Every time you do an additional volunteer work, every time you do a new project or new experience you gain, you have to update your resume accordingly. At times you'll deem that, okay, this is not worth getting into the resume, you might not need to update it. But there would be times you'll feel like, okay, this thing needs to go onto the resume, and that's your key to update your resume. And please remember, customization is the key to your resume because your resume represents you before you reach the interview. So, what are the key roles that you need to look at the exact keywords that are there in the job description. Those keywords should ideally be in your resume as well, so that when the recruiter use ATS trackers and softwares like that, the software doesn't reject your resume just because those keywords were missing. The next thing is to highlight relevant skills and experience so that your recruiter can see that how you align with the job or the internship that you have. The third thing is quantify your achievements where possible because numbers help you understand it. Okay, this is what he's saying, this is the result. How well did he perform on that role? Now, coming to roles without description. So, there are some roles in which you cannot quantify your contribution. And for those methods, what we suggest is that you use the CAR method, this context, action, result. For that detail, you can always come to us and share that in the resume session. So, what main key topics that you can take is use AI prompts for those industry specific research skills or focus on transferable skills that you can portray on your resume. Moving to the next slide. So what if you lack experience? There will be cases where you won't have any work experience prior to the first one that you're applying for. In that case, you'll exclude your work experience and write your leadership roles in in co-curricular activities that you have done, your volunteership experience, your personal projects and certifications, or your academic achievements instead of the professional experience, so that the recruiter know that okay, there are some things that you have done, and it's the first time you are entering into the professional world. And for that, you need to take a proactive approach. You need to start building your experiences through societies, volunteer work, skill building courses and certifications, passion projects, and side businesses and hustles, so that you can highlight your those academic and popular experiences instead of your work experience. Moving to the LinkedIn profile. So LinkedIn is an online platform that you can use to help to portray what you have done so far in the professional capacity. So for that, your LinkedIn needs to abide by a few rules. The main rule ones are your main headshot, your profile picture, which is called a professional headshot in LinkedIn language. It needs to be a clear headshot with a neutral background. No fuzzy background at the back or some very happening backgrounds are discouraged. Your headline should be something that sells you as a professional. So if you are, let's say, a CS major, it should be something like aspiring data analysis, Python SQL expert, so that they highlighted, okay, what you want to be, what are your skills, and what you're passionate about. Now coming to the third section, which is your about section. It's a summary of what you are. Tell your story in that summary, but but be focused that it should be a professional one. It shouldn't be a personal summary of you, but something you want to tell people in your professional company capacity, something you want the recruiter to know before they get to know the real you. Now, coming to the fourth section, which is the most important one, it is your experience and project. And here you include all your internships, part-time roles, academic projects, and everything that comes inside the professional experience sector. So it could be your professional work as a student or some society work you have done as a student, be it for your O levels, A levels, or undergrad and masters. The fifth section is your skill. These are the skills that you think you have a good grip on. It could be any skill. It would be your Microsoft skills. It could be just one skill like your Excel skill, or something which is more towards soft skill like your time management skill or your speaking skills. So all these kind of skills go into the skills section, and in that you can get endorsed from your fellow uh, students and faculty members as well that are connected with you on LinkedIn. The third is your engagement. At times, recruiters do see how you are engaging on the platform to know how professional you are, what your work ethics might be like, and get an idea of your personality as well. So, whatever you like, comment, and share, be mindful that you will be judged about it. And 90% of the time, those things are public. The last thing is your LinkedIn URL. You can always customize your LinkedIn URL, and we recommend that you have a clean URL which looks good not just on your resume, but it's easier for recruiters to type in as well while at times when the hyperlink is not working. Now moving forward, this is the last part of the application toolkit, your portfolio. Portfolios are field specific platforms that you use to demonstrate your skills. At the internship level, these are not required but optional, but it is always ideal that once when you are applying for your internship, at that time you start building your portfolio. Because at job time, you will be requiring those portfolios. So which fields ideally use portfolios? The first one is your tech and STEM field, which use their portfolios to display their web development, data science, or UI work that they have done so far. And for those popular portfolio platforms include GitHub links, your class project links, or at times there are other platforms which are like freelancing platforms as well that are used by the students. The second one is creative tools for which you can use your either your Canva or your Bittleby link of portfolio to showcase your creative side so that the mentor knows how, the recruiter knows how you develop content, what kind of content you have developed so far, and have an idea of your taste. Other fields that also use portfolios are research and writing field, which use either their own blog spots or research person like ORCID, Researcher ID, etc. to build their portfolio. What you need to keep in mind while building these portfolios and deciding whether you want to go for your own personalized blog spot or you want to use a established portfolio projector is that what kind of work you are doing, what kind of skills you want to show, and what projects are your passion projects, and what message you want to convey through the portfolio. Key points that we should be keeping in mind while making a portfolio or deciding the platform is it can include your coursework, personal projects, and volunteer work. So choose a platform that is friendly for all these things. Uh, what you do as a junior and senior researchers or academic projects, these you can portray over there, or you can decide to not portray. But make sure that if you uh, decide to portray your junior or senior year projects, those are worth sharing with the public at large. Next is to keep it well organized and easy to navigate. Your portfolio should always be easily navigatable for a stranger to on the first class to know what is going on over there. You can use your Google Drive links and stuff like that to show your portfolio, but it is not recommended to use Google Drive. But however, if you like have some static thing or you have a list of links that you are using on sharing to your portfolio, then maybe you can use your Google Word. I'm now moving to next slide. This cover letter and Sultan will be explaining those.
Hello everyone. As part of the internship toolkit session, I'll be sharing some tips to help you how to write a strong cover letter. Like most of the internships don't require a cover letter, but if some internships require, it's a chance that you can practice to make a cover letter so that you feel more confident like applying to the jobs after like doing your internships in your senior years. So first of all, let's start with the first point. Like you have to keep it concise. Like focus on why you're a good fit for the company. Okay, why your interest in the role in the company. So your cover letter is not just about you. It's about how you fit to the company, and what about the company needs. It's like in just of saying like I am interested in I am a very hardworking and passionate person. It's not like that. So it must show that how your skills and experiences like aligns with the job descriptions and the skill the company requires. Okay, let's say let's say an example like you cannot show that I want to work in marketing. Okay, instead of this, like go and search for the company. Like for example, like we can say that you're applying for an internship at Nestle. So instead of like saying like I want to work in marketing, you can like go and research about their values, their missions, what they are working on. You can like just you have to like put a example, relate your experience with your vision and just match with that specific requirement. So I can say we can like talk about an example like you did a university project based on marketing. So you did some launch campaigns. Okay, so you can like align one most of us know that Nestle is mostly focuses on the driven campaigns. So like you can relate that specific project in marketing with their campaigns so that they know that कि जो नेस्ले है वो मतलब उसको उनको इम्प्रेस हमने इस वे में कर देना है कि वो हम उनके कैंपेन्स के अंदर वर्क करना चाह रहे हैं so that it relates with your project. I know most of the students don't have like job experiences and internships, so I think uh, this is the best thing. So you have to like show that you have done your homework because in this cover letter it's not like your resume. Okay, it's a cover letter. You have to make your cover letter like you have to make a new cover letter for every job. Okay, let's come to the second point, personalize each letter. Okay, so here I think it's one of the like exciting thing to do in a cover letter. Like most of people think like cover letter is a boring and we don't have to. Okay, so you have to address the manager. Okay, if you don't know the name of manager, you can use your stalking skills on LinkedIn and just start researching about the company name, and go to the employee section and just search about the recruiters, the team leads, and the talent acquisition, whoever. If you can't find that specific name, don't try not to use dear hiring manager. Use dear finance team, dear marketing team. Okay, so still try not to use the outdated and generic line to whom it may concern. Like it's quite generic and it's the old way to address the recruiters. And let's talk about the format. Okay, so you have to use, there is no specific template for the cover letter. There is no specific design for the cover letter. You have to like, it must be clear and simple font, not less than 10 font, 10 size. You can use simple Arial as well as Calibri font. It must be simple, like just your introduction, your body and your end paragraph, just fine. So let's go for the third point, start strong. Open with a brief intro. Let's talk about intro. Okay. You have to mention what you're applying, what excites you. Don't have to like show them like you're just like applying to like get busy in during the summer. But I would suggest try not to mention like I am writing to apply. Show some personality, show some enthusiasm in it. Okay, you have to show like if you're applying for the marketing in Nestle, you can mention that I like the culture more. You can like research on their recent projects they're working on, like on sustainability, on marketing. So you can like name a specific project and relate it with your interests. Like they are working on the campaigns, their social media campaigns. I can also work with that. I can also work with the marketing, also work with the video stuff too, and make it feel real and personal. Like it must align with your personal goals. Okay, if your first line must like show that reader that this person really gets us, like इस बच्चे ने अच्छी तरह like अपना homework करके आया है और उसने मतलब हमें they know about us, so that if he उसने कुछ थोड़ा सा hard work किया, then let's give him an offer. ठीक है, तो इस internship करने के लिए it's a good way. Highlight 1 to 2 relevant experience. Okay, so here you must connect your skill. Like most of the students that came to us, like they have experiences like in extracurriculars and just projects only. They don't have any past internship and experiences. I would suggest in your resume and your cover letter, you have to like make sure that your project courses and extracurriculars, you have to like make sure that which skills aligns with the that specific job you're applying for. You don't have to like mention that experience in supply chain or HR with this marketing thing. You cannot like mix that up, but try to like focus on those skills that matches with the role. Use clear examples and show what you did, how you did, and what the result was. Like you have to show the impact about the things you have done. And second last point is show enthusiasm and alignment. Your cover letter should show that you're generally excited. Demonstrate that you're not just applying randomly and you know why this company, why this role, because they must know that this person is writing a cover letter. Writing a cover letter is a new, it's a task. Okay, because you made your resume, you are just sending it all over to recruiters. But for the cover letter specifically, the companies ask for a cover letter because you have to make it like from scratch. So the employers see that you're good fit for the team and the culture. Okay, so lastly, I will say that close with purpose. Okay, in the final paragraph, you should reaffirm your interest in the role, like, and just politely express that you are open for open discussion and interviews. It must be really polite. You don't have to beg for the internship in the or any job. You don't have to like show that you are just needed. Just showcase your skills and experiences so good, so that they just feel like that this is the perfect match for this job and like we are gonna hire it. And avoid abruptly and mm, say thank you in a very good way. So I'm gonna over to Ariba.
Thank you, Sultan. I'll take it from here.
Okay.
Okay, next we have how to find opportunities. How can you look for internship opportunities? And this will be covered by Ariba.
Hello, Samnika. My name is Ariba, and I'm career guidance and placement specialist here. So I will walk you through the opportunities and how CSO will help the students to land at the right job and internship. So we have multiple channels through which we help the students. One is bi-weekly newsletter, which we share on every Tuesday and Friday, and we share multiple opportunities with the students. You can see on the screen. Um, yeah. So we share the deadline, organization name, title, or the position we share, and then the city or location, where the student have to land at the job or the internship, and then the classes which needs to apply for the internship. Okay, move to the previous slide, please. Okay, so then we have campus recruitment drives, which officially started from January, and it lasts till June 30th. So we call multiple recruiters from different sectors, and you have the opportunity to interact with the recruiters. This year we plan two networking sessions. One is for the law networking session, and the second one is HSS networking session. But in the coming year, we are also planning a networking session for the engineering school. About the career fair, we uh, we held a career fair and every year on 8th of February, or maybe in the month of February. And then we have career guidance workshops. career guidance workshop is about writing resume, cover letter writing, LinkedIn optimization, and about different career channels, like for example criminal defense strategy and advocacy, and then navigating cybersecurity careers and all, and beyond that as well. Then we have career services office LinkedIn page. So we post different jobs over the LinkedIn page. So if you haven't follow our LinkedIn page, you need to follow us and get the access to the opportunities. And then in the future, we are going to launch our Connect portal as well. It's already operating, but through the Connect portal, the student will have the opportunity to access the recruiter, as well as they can build their profile as well, upload their resume, so that recruiters can reach out to them directly. So I'm moving on to the next slide, that is finding opportunity, where to look. So I'm going to give it to the Umar. So he will explain it to you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. So let's proceed with the finding opportunities, where to look section, in which we are going to focus on the independent research. So first of all, we're going to focus on the LinkedIn job alerts, where you will be individually checking the each company's LinkedIn page, and they have a job section where they list all the positions that they're currently hiring for. Moreover, you should also go through their posts, that they're always posting new positions with the links, and uh, for instance, summer internships uh, related posts are very common these days. Secondly, we're going to focus on the company research, where you have to do your own. You can check the websites, you have to check the LinkedIn pages, the following, their presence on social media. You can check out their Instagram and Facebook to get um a better view of what the company is offering, what is its position in the market, and its online presence. Secondly, we are going to discuss industry-specific job boards. So on LinkedIn, there are specific groups where you can, and pages where you can join and become a member of the specific groups, where their latest positions related to that specific area are, or that specific role are positioned. For instance, if you're interested in data analytics or business analytics, then you can search the LinkedIn, and you can find relevant pages and groups where you can become a member to keep in touch with the latest developments in that field, and be abreast with the latest opportunities. Each company website has a career page, a specific career section where you can view the latest opportunities. It's like a kind of like works like LinkedIn jobs section, where the company posts all the relevant details of their positions. You can check out the websites to make sure what the latest hiring is for. Professional association job boards. Um, you can connect with the mentors and uh, with the relevant industry professionals who are specialized or who are established in the specific field that you're pursuing. You can be in touch with them to and to be abreast with the latest positions and the latest groups, and the groups where they are members of. To um, it's kind of like when you network with the professionals, and you get better opportunities and better exposure to even um, uh, to further elevate your interest and your career in that specific field which you're targeting. You can also leverage alumni network and industry connections. So industry connections I've already touched a bit, where how you can reach out to the professionals on LinkedIn, and you can also reach out to the alumni who are specifically established in that area. And let's proceed to the next slide then. So this is the application timeline where we share the so semester internships period starts from the May. It lasts from May to July. This is the time period where companies are actively hiring and actively sharing positions through CSO. You can you must actively check the CSO newsletter, which my colleague Ariba has already discussed. That is sent on Tuesdays and Fridays. Um, Make sure you're up to date on the latest positions. If you can also do some on your research to be sure nothing, that any position that you're interested in is not missed out. We have year-round internships. Other than the summer internships, companies are continuously hiring for part-time and full-time positions where you can, if you're someone who wants to juggle um, their professional development along with their academic, then you can keep an eye on bi-weekly throughout the year to ensure all the opportunities are at your arm's length. And then we have rolling applications where apply as opportunities arises. You have to be you have to ensure that you're up to date with the CSO emails, be it newsletter, be it any other relevant workshop that helps you optimize your preparation. Secondly, we would suggest you should keep an eye on the LUMS Career Services Office LinkedIn page and Instagram to ensure you're actively up to date with all the opportunities that we are sharing. Profe- uh, Lastly, we will talk about follow-up strategy, where you have to ensure uh, where professional persistence pays off. You have to make sure to keep in follow up with the organizations to ensure that you have to ensure that you're actively following up and with the latest trends and ensure that you're up to date with the latest developments in the market.
Thank you,
Over
Umang.
to
Okay. Now we'll move on to networking for opportunities. I'm sure everybody, each member of my team has specifically talked about networking and how important it is for your internships. I hope I'm audible. Okay. So moving on to what are like there are different ways of actually networking. I know we talk a lot about networking. एक तो network होता क्या है and what sort of opportunities exist out there. Building on to what I previously said, so when you develop a professional network, that's basically you trying to engage and keep in touch with people who are either working in the roles that you want to target or the organizations that you want to target. So, for example, if you are somebody who says that I want to try and apply to consultancies, right? So, ideally, you should be targeting people who are working as consultants, depending on the organization, the location, and the type of consulting that you want to go into. So, what are some of the ways that you can network? First of all, alumni. We have a great, really big LUMS alumni database, and mashallah, sir, a lot of our alumni are working in some really good companies across the world. So that is a very, very, very good way of connecting with them, of staying in touch. Or you can also reach out to us if you are unable to find an alumni who is working in your target organization or is doing a postgrad degree from a university that you want to target. So usually alumni, most of them are very helpful, very kind in giving back to the LUMS community and guiding and mentoring their juniors. So that's a very good opportunity. Also, सिर्फ alumni से बात करने से at times I've heard from students that they get this piece yeah, some sort of a I would say satisfaction कि अच्छा this career path that they've chosen for themselves वो है किस तरह का उसमें opportunities कैसी हैं career progression कैसा है growth के कोई chances हैं या नहीं है and how can they actually enter that. So that is something that really helps. Secondly, the events and webinars. Of course, we would always endorse you to attend the career guidance workshops that the CSO does. Most of them are in partnership with alumni So that is a really good way of connecting with them, developing professional networks. But apart from that, you should also try and do research. Okay, what events are happening given your the role or the industry, the sector that you've targeted. Coffee chats हो रही होती हैं, बहुत से business organizations में तो खैर networking और इस तरह की activities ज़्यादा common है, but they happen in other industries and sectors as well. And LinkedIn is a very good way of finding out what events and webinars are happening. So that's really a good way of gathering information, connecting with people. And sometimes, if your intention is just to meet someone and get information, maybe they like your profile so much, maybe you have sort of convinced them through, that 1 or 2 minute conversation. I've heard from students that they ended up getting internship offers from people who they were just talking to at some event. So that is also something to look out for. Then, of course, professional associations. We've spoken about this a bit before, a few slides before as well. There are professional associations that you can join. चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स की होती हैं, लॉ के स्टूडेंट्स की होती हैं, बहुत से जो लोग कंसल्टिंग में जाना चाहते हैं, देर आर informal groups that you can join, associations that you can become a part of. So that, of course, really helps. Um, Next, we have LinkedIn. I think इस पूरे session के अंदर we've spoken a lot about LinkedIn and its importance. And of course, it should be the first or perhaps the most important step in your journey of networking. Try to look for companies जहाँ पे आप apply करना चाहते हो. अगर आपको नहीं समझ में आ रहा company कौन सी है, क्या करूँ, the basic and most, I would say, beginner level way of networking is you go to the Lahore University of Management Sciences का जो LUMS का जो official LinkedIn page है, not the CSO one, the LUMS official page. You will see a section which says alumni. You click on that section and it lets you add filters based on whatever you want to search. So for example, let's suppose I'm interested in connecting with somebody who's working as a policy analyst in the climate sector, or not sector, but like in climate division, right? So I'll add those keywords and it will start showing me people who have studied from LUMS and are working in my desired role and sector. That is going to help me connect with them. And of course, वहां से फिर आपका बाकी जो सिलसिला है of communication that will start. And lastly, of course, faculty connections. A lot of faculty are very, very proactive in allowing and obviously connecting their students with alumni and other connections that they've developed over the years with industry professionals. So that is also something that you can look forward to. Of course, making use of faculty connections for networking means कि आपको पहले faculty के साथ एक rapport बनानी पड़ेगी, and that is of course a form of networking in itself. Acha ji. So this is perhaps I feel like one of the most important parts of this session. You have to apply very strategically. I feel like there is no other way to say it. That yes, थोड़ा सा एक desperation वाला element आ जाता है कि internship नहीं मिल रही, I don't want to waste my summers, and you just randomly start applying to places. That's not the best way of approaching this thing, especially if we're speaking in broader sense of making sure कि आपका जो career journey है सब कुछ planned और sorted है. So the first thing would be to please be sure कि आपने एक तो apply कहाँ करना है, and that would mean कि आप randomly spam applying ना करें. Focus on the roles that you want to work in, focus on the roles that you want to try, the industry, the sector. आपके पास ऑलरेडी क्या स्किल सेट है जो कि शायद उस रोल के लिए, उस रोल की इंटर्नशिप के लिए अच्छा होगा, और मजीद आप इसको किस तरह से उसमें सीख सकते हो या उसमें कुछ गेन कर सकते हो. So you need to be very proactive about that. And there is no one size fits all for jobs or internships. What works for someone else, even people from the same majors with relatively the same interests might not land the same career paths. If I'm, yeah, not the same career paths. So that's also completely fine. Uske liye, you need to start doing some research. Meet us. We can help you sort of plan out कि अच्छा ये आपका मेजर है, ये आपका इंटरेस्ट है, इसमें आप इस किस्म के रोल्स टारगेट कर सकते हो फॉर इंटर्नशिप्स. और इंटर्नशिप का तो पॉइंट ही सीखना होता है. सो द मोमेंट आई फील लाइक यू कम अक्रॉस अ गुड अपॉर्चुनिटी, डू evaluate it and think about applying it, given that कि आपका लॉन्ग टर्म और शॉर्ट टर्म गोल्स क्या है. Secondly, read the job description. I know for a lot of internships, there aren't any like specific job descriptions available, but usually information दी होती है LinkedIn post पे, website पे कि वो exactly मांग क्या रहे हैं या वो देख क्या रहे हैं in that student. And it's really nice, it's not nice, it's really advised कि आप उस job description के अंदर से वो keywords निकालें. Those will एक तो point out कि ये internship और ये role है किस बारे में, and you can very strategically place them in your resume so that you can plan out this entire application journey very strategically and ensure that you end up getting an interview as well. Third thing, which Aisha has discussed in very, I feel like in much more detail, customize your resume. बच्चों को एक misconception होता है कि हमने एक resume बना लिया, and that is what we're going to send out to all organizations for all jobs, for all internships. That shouldn't be the case. A resume is something that is specifically like very tailored to the job that or the internship or the role that you want to go into. So each and every resume should be slightly different. If you want to go for a project management role, uska resume slightly different होगा. आपने research के लिए जाना है, TA-ship के लिए जाना है, उसका different होगा. Of course, आपके experiences नहीं change होंगे, लेकिन आप उन experiences के बारे में किस तरह बात कर रहे हो to highlight why you're a good fit for a teaching assistant role and for a project management role. तो वो चीज वेरी करेगी. ठीक है. एंड ऑफ कोर्स ट्रैक एवरी एप्लीकेशन. आई ऑलवेज एडवाइज कि आप अपना कहीं पे कोई एक सिस्टम डेवलप करो. इफ यू कंफर्टेबल विद नॉन डिजिटल रिसोर्सेज एंड नॉन डिजिटल एवेन्यूज तो ठीक है, पुट एवरीथिंग ऑन पेपर. Track the applications, the company, the deadlines, the roles, the status, the point of contact जिसको हम POC बोलते हैं, आपसे उनकी लास्ट कब बात हुई, फॉलो अप जरूर किया करो. All of these things are very important, and they're also very important for your professional development over the course of your undergrad. Lastly, what I've just said, please do follow up. At times हमारे पास बच्चे आते हैं after 2-3 months of having applied somewhere and not getting a response from them. उस पॉइंट पे ना हम कुछ कर सकते हैं और आप तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं, because ideally you should have followed back when whenever the interview or the first communication had happened, उसके 10 से 12 या max 2 हफ्ते के बाद send a very polite check-in कि I'm really interested and I would really like an update as I'm in the middle of evaluating other offers or something like that, something that keeps the ball rolling and it actually tells them कि अच्छा आप serious हो. और समटाइम्स ऑब्वियसली जब आप नहीं आता फॉलोअप्स का भी, उसको आप एक अनफॉर्चुनेट डिसीजन लेकर आगे मूव ऑन कर जाया करो. दिस आई नो इट्स disheartening, you put in so much effort, so much thought into applying, and sometimes you just don't get the response that you want, but that's okay. Take it as a learning opportunity and move on to the next one. Okay, moving on to how can the LUMS CSO help you, and Fiza will be covering this part.
Hi, so at the Career Service Office, our goal is to support you through every stage of your career journey, from figuring out where to start to ensuring that you get the next best opportunity. Here's how we can help. Firstly, we can give you Firstly, we can give you feedback on your application. Your resume, your LinkedIn profile, and your cover letter are the first impression that you make on the recruiter. So we're here to help you make the best out of it. You can book a one-on-one session to get detailed feedback and improve when it comes to clarity, your structure, and your alignment with the industry expectations. Secondly, the interview preparation. As interviews can be intimidating and it's very hard to navigate through it. But preparation is the key, and we're here to help you through that as well. We offer mock interviews that are tailored to your industry of interest, and we also give you feedback to improve your delivery and your responses. So you can access our CSO interview guide to help you prepare better even on your own. And for CSO resources, we have a wide range of resources out there to help you and navigate through your career journey. Whether you're actually job searching or just exploring your options, this will be of immense help. These include our career guides, our tip sheets, our newsletters, and even the workshops that we have. They will be of very tremendous help when you're navigating your career journey and getting good insights into what the industry expectations are like. So our events also cover everything from personal branding to navigating industry specific paths. So when it comes to connections, it is as important as building a good LinkedIn profile as polishing your resume. So we also help students with LUMS alumni networking, and also to get mentorship, advice, and even referrals. So if you're not sure how to begin when it comes to networking, you can also get a one-to-one session with our career guidance counselors and they will guide you. So what we encourage every student out there to take advantage of these resources, whether you're actively searching or just starting to plan your future. These career guidance counselors, the resources that we have, they will help you, and the earlier you start engaging with us, the more confident and prepared you'll be when the right opportunity comes along. Next slide, please. Next slide. uh, Shiza, next slide. Okay. So, what you should be doing next? Firstly, you should go begin making your LinkedIn profile and your resume if you haven't already. And even if you have, it's always best to get an opinion on it. You can get it reviewed by a CSO counselor, get it polished well, and get it according to what the industry expectations are like. Secondly, you can meet one of our career guidance counselors, book a one-to-one session with them, and discuss what your career plans are like, discuss what role you want to get for yourself, and begin planning on your career journey with them. Lastly, keep a lookout on the CSO newsletter. We email it to you every Tuesday and every Friday, and it has the updated list of internship opportunities as well as job opportunities.
Thank you, Fiza. Um, these are some last couple of slides that we wanted to add into the session. So we'll take questions towards the end of the session. And if you want to know about the bookings, so uske liye bhi there's a QR code towards the end, and you can access our booking links from that. So Aisha will be covering internship offers and how to make the most out of your internship.
So how do you evaluate your internship first? Just like job for internships, you get your offer letters as well. And while evaluating internship offers, the first thing you need to know is not just because that is it a paid internship or not. Those that is the thing you have to clarify once you are applying. Once you have gotten the offer, that's not a question. These are the 5 questions that you need to answer. Career alignment. How well does this match with your goals? Because there is something that you would have understood when you read the job and the internship advert that what you will be doing in that internship. And then there is the job offer which that outlines that these are the things that you need to do. You have to align how well that matches with the learnings that you want to gain for your career progression. The second thing is the learning opportunities. So, what kind of projects, what kind of skill development are they engaging with you with? Does that align with your professional development goal? If yes, go for it. If no, don't go for the internship. Third is mentorship quality. Is the firm known for its research work and clientele work, and how well is the supervisor known to teach you? If the supervisor is known to teach you some really good skills, then even if the learning opportunities slightly align with what you want to do, I would say go for it, because what there are many things that you will learn which, because just because the mentor is a good mentor or the supervisor is a good mentor, he'll teach you those tips which will go a long way in your career journey. So in that case, you can go for that internship even if it doesn't perfectly align with your career aspirations. Fourth thing is the company culture. Does the company culture fits well with your value and work style? If it doesn't, then your internship period will be the most demeaning summer break that you had. So make sure that it aligns. Otherwise, you won't like the internship, you won't learn anything, and it will be a something you don't want to do. And you might end up leaving the internship midway, which will reflect very badly on your resume. The fifth thing is potential. So if an internship is leading to a job, that's a A-class internship straight away. If you think that, okay, I do the internship this year, maybe in the upcoming years, I might land a job in that organization, do go for that internship. Even if it's not completely aligned with your career aspiration and stuff, because you will have some insights. Otherwise, it's always a good idea to evaluate the potential of the internship in your resume. Moving next. So, how to make the most of your internship experience? Set clear learning objectives from day one. The first day you join the internship as an internee, let your line manager or the senior with whom you'll be interning Know that, okay, these are the 4 5 learning outcomes that you have in your mind that you want to learn during the internship, so that they guide you accordingly, they give you task accordingly, and during the free time, they talk to you about those skills. Maybe you aren't actively on that project doing those skills, but they might teach you on their free time. The second thing is seek feedback regularly. Even if the supervisor isn't regularly giving them you feedback, ask them for the feedback. Because the more regularly the feedback you will get, it will the more easier it will be to implement those suggestions, and always note those feedback so that the supervisor doesn't feel enraged or triggered that, okay, every time I have to tell the student this thing. Make the habit of making notes. Always write down the feedback that the supervisor is giving you so that you can work on improving those steps. The third thing is build your professional relationship so that you can rely on that supervisor, that mentor, even after you have left the company. So that you have a connection with them, you have a rapport with them, and they can help you in your career journey, just like a mentor. The last thing is document your achievements. Whatever you achieve, make sure that you get either a certificate or an experience letter out of it. Moving forwards, so thank you everyone. These are our QR codes for the resume template, resume guide, and book an appointment QR code. I would encourage that you book an appointment with us so that you can have an in-depth discussion on not just this session, but any queries regarding your career, inspiration journey, or higher ed journey, or something similar that you have in mind with us. Thank you for joining.
Okay, everyone, we'll be taking questions now. So if you have any questions, please either add them in the chat box. We'll start by first answering the ones that have already been sent. So Ibad was asking if there's a CSO template. I know Sultan has already answered this. There isn't a specific template for a cover letter because, as he mentioned, a cover letter is something that you need to personalize and write for each and every role and organization. So there is no such template. जिस तरह resume का template होता है ना कि आपके पास एक document and you just put information in it. This is literally a letter. There is no template for that. हाँ, there are guidelines for it कि आपका introduction होना चाहिए, your text body, the way you write an essay, and then your conclusion. So there is no template. I just wanted to clear that out. Okay. You guys can book meetings with us. Calendly links हैं if उसके ऊपर सबके time slots are available. So you can choose whichever counselor you're comfortable with. Yes, Isa, you have a question. I think you cannot enable the mic. Isa, आप if you can ask to chat में लिख दो question. I've enabled the mic and camera for attendees so you guys can ask questions now. Isa, you can go ahead, unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hi. So for a couple of internships that I have looked at, they ask for some kind of experience in that domain. So how can one show experience for that domain if one is applying for that?
So उसका एक बड़ा simple तरीका है. आपने ठीक है understood that you don't have experience, right? आपने internship या job के अलावा कुछ तो किया होगा. There must have been some coursework you've done that is relevant to the internship, or even if it's not relevant to the internship, coursework के जो projects होते हैं या research का जो काम होता है, उसके थ्रू जो स्किल सेट आपने गेन किया है, आप उसके बारे में बात कर सकते हो, ठीक है? I know most of you have done some sort of research work in your courses at LUMS, right? So आप उनके बारे में बात कर सकते हो जब आप research projects में काम कर रहे होते हो. अच्छा, so उसमें ये होता है कि you can talk about the skill set that you've gained while working on those projects. If you've worked with people, तो उसमें आपकी team management skills, communication skills, all these kind of skills and attributes are something that you can mention in your interview. उसी तरह courses, certifications, any passion projects that you've done, you can talk about things that you've done apart from the formal work experience and formal setting, and relate those skills and learnings to the role that you're applying. I hope that answers your question. Okay, somebody was asking a question how to book a session. Acha. So Humaira is asking, is there any internship at LUMS or LUMS Career Services Office? Yes, internships hoti hai. We do hire interns as well. Again, LUMS Career Services Office ki internships ya jo bhi hai, you should check the bi-weekly newsletter. All of the information is in the bi-weekly, even information about our workshops, resources that we guys want to share with you all. तो सारा कुछ उसके अंदर share होता है. अच्छा जी, is a traineeship offer the same as an internship offer? It really depends कि वो जो traineeship है, एक तो वो किस nature की है, वो किस duration की है. Internships भी 3 से 6 महीने की भी हो सकती हैं और traineeship भी 3 से 6 महीने की हो सकती है. So it really depends. और usually traineeship के अंदर आप एक specific project पे एक specific role में under training काम कर रहे होते हो, ठीक है? So वो ज़रा थोड़ा सा उससे different हो सकता है. And of course, this is something that you can ask the person who you're going to be working with कि इस internship का इस role का actually title क्या है या इसका actually domain क्या है. Is it something that's going to be formally treated as an internship? Because I know a lot of students do apprenticeships and they put them in internships. Now, an apprenticeship isn't really an internship, ठीक है? But these are very like similar. So these are things that you can clarify from the person who you're going to work with. Nonetheless, ye अच्छे experiences hai. If you're getting that opportunity, to please do take it. If it's good for your career, avail that opportunity. In which year a uni should one apply? Acha, aspire to do an internship. So ideally, देखो, you should do an internship after your freshman year. Freshman year तक आपको अभी भी थोड़ा idea नहीं होता है कि अच्छा मैंने करना क्या है, मैंने major क्या declare करना है, मेरा interest किस चीज में है. Freshman, चलो soft में भी if you don't want to do an internship, तो at least junior में you should be doing an internship. ठीक है? Soft freshman में if you're not interested in doing an internship or if you feel like you're not in that headspace abhi, so try to at least engage yourself in extracurricular activities and projects, academic, research wise, other types of projects, anything that can really help you put into practice whatever you've learned in class. Should we consider if an internship is paid? Why not? I thought it was going to be unpaid. If an internship opportunity is good enough, if it's good for your career, if it's good for your learning for the long term, and if they're paying you, to go for it. And again, वही बात एक दो चीजों से नहीं decide करना कि ये चीज आपके लिए अच्छी है या नहीं. There are a lot of things that you should be taking into consideration. If money is a very important element for you, तो हाँ, do go for paid internships. If money is something that you can not really dwell on or focus on right now, आप उसके बगैर भी कर सकते हो. And if you want to do it just for the sake of learning, तो फिर unpaid करने में भी कोई हर्ज नहीं है. Do TAships count as professional experience? Yes. Teaching assistantships, RAships, depends on obviously the work hours that you're allocating to it, but they do count as professional experience, especially if you're giving 20 hours per week to something that counts as a part-time role. Full-time role is 40 hours per week. So part-time is going to be 20 hours. If I'm already doing an internship and receive a better offer, would it reflect badly if I switch? It does reflect badly, but really depends कि आपने internship के किस stage पे जाके offer जो है वो मतलब अगली offer accept करके ये वाली छोड़ी. I mean अगर आपकी 6 हफ्ते की internship है और आप पहले हफ्ते में you figure out कि अच्छा मुझे फलानी जगह से offer आ गई है, we politely let them know that I won't be continuing. You don't have to tell them that you got a better offer, but you can tell them that this is not something I intended to do or plan for myself, and I would politely decline or I'm grateful for the opportunity or something like that. हाँ, अगर आपको 5 हफ्ते हो गए हैं and then you decide that you're going to switch, that's a bit I think that's also a bit unprofessional. दूसरा आपकी वो जो 5 हफ्ते की मेहनत है उसका probably आपको कोई letter of what do you call that, experience letter या appreciation letter नहीं मिलेगा. So these are some things to keep in mind. वरना एक दो हफ्ते first week, I don't think that really it's going to make that much of a difference. And of course internship का पूरा point ही होता है to learn. And if you feel like a current position में रह के मुझे इतना नहीं सीखने को मिल रहा जो किसी और से मिलेगा, तो why not? What if someone is following all of this and applying strategically, personalizing, but still not able to have an opportunity? You come and see us. You come and get your resume reviewed. You discuss this entire process with us. At times होता पता क्या है, आप सारा कुछ ठीक कर रहे होते हो, but कहीं ना कहीं कोई gap आ रहा होता है. Either the resume that you're using is not tailored to the jobs or internships that you're applying for, या आप शायद वो roles नहीं target कर रहे होते, या आप शायद वो organization नहीं target कर रहे होते. So there are a lot of things. Maybe sometimes the interview skills are what need to be improved. So a lot of things are at play here. Aisha naam hai. Aisha, I would really suggest that you book a meeting with one of us so that we can discuss this in more detail. So Biha has asked if you've done an internship at a reputable firm which had little to no learning. That is a very objective thing. Sorry, subjective thing. Um, अगर तो एक अच्छी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, आपको लगता है करियर में मुझे इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का नाम अपने रेज्यूमे पे लिखने से कुछ बेनिफिट मिलेगा, एंड आई डोंट नो आप लर्निंग से क्या कहना चाह रहे हो. मे बी you are not describing the learning in a way that looks impactful. Maybe there has been no learning. That is something we can discuss depending on a full like disclosure from your end. Catcha actually isme tha kya. So Biha, if you're from LUMS, I would also suggest booking a meeting and discussing this in detail. What's the difference between fellowship and internship? So a fellowship is a learning opportunity more than an internship. Internship mein you're doing more practical stuff. Fellowship mein learning element is more than the practical stuff. There are fellowships just mein learning and practicality are both at the same level, but more so fellowships are for learning, like hardcore learning. And both are good depending on the career path that you've chosen yourself, depending on what industry you're in, the role that you're in. It really, like a fellowship could be as good as an internship. Should TAship be mentioned in the experience section of a CV? First of all, I really want to point this thing out over here. A CV is different from a resume. A resume is something that you use for jobs and internships. CV is a document that you use for applying for either academic roles or just for postgrad. So एक तो ये चीज, दूसरी चीज ये कि TAship, yes, it's an experience, and no, it doesn't go in the extracurriculars. Extracurricular में आपकी on campus या outside of your curriculars जो आपने चीजें की होती हैं वो जाती हैं. Doesn't have a structured program. Okay, she's answered that. Are internships meaningful even if you're applying to grad schools? Yes, 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 yes. And yes, we do assist with grad school applications. If you want any sort of guidance, if you want to discuss your plans, so reach out to us. We can help you with that as well. Internships are meaningful for grad study as well, especially अगर आप एक ऐसी field में grad study के लिए apply कर रहे हो जिसके लिए कुछ technical experience or technical knowledge required है. Also, having an internship under your belt, having that experience under your belt really gives it adds more depth and breadth to your personal statement or your application. पता चलता है कि अच्छा इसको theory का भी पता है, इसको practicality का भी पता है. उन दोनों चीजों को समझ के आप एक बेहतर आर्ग्यूमेंट दे सकते हो कि मैंने ये चीज पढ़ के भी देख ली, करके भी देख ली, एंड दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट टू डू इन द फ्यूचर. दिस इज वेयर माय ग्रेड स्टडी कम्स इनटू प्ले. सो दैट्स you can build a very solid ground for grad study in that regard. Especially a lot of these master's programs, they require very good profiles, and good profiles aren't just like your GPA. GPA matters, but बाकी चीजें भी matter करती हैं. I can't access it. I don't know whose slides you're trying to access, but recording for this will be available on the, it will only be available for LUM students. So it will be available by the end of the summer development program, which is going to end sometime in August. So recording will be available in August, and you guys can access it only from your LUMS ID. You won't get the slides, just to clarify, you'll only get the sessions recording. Can you tell fee for counseling? Humera, I think you're not from LUMS. Counseling is only for LUM students, and there is no fee for that. It's also free for alumni. Okay, what about outsider? I have to start it. I'm so sorry, but we're only providing counseling services to LUMS community. We've also shared a session feedback form. We would really, really, really like you guys to give your feedback on how you can improve these sessions. We also conduct workshops with external mentors, with alumni, with industry professionals. So if you guys could give us your feedback, that would be great. It would really help us in making the content of the session better, and obviously seeing how can we make these more fruitful and interactive for you guys. We've also linked our Instagram page. Do follow us. We post our sessions, resources, everything is on Instagram and LinkedIn as much as it's on all of the other avenues. And yeah, you can access the link tree. वहाँ पे career counselors जितने भी हैं, it's me, Aisha, Sultan, Mariam, Ruba. You can access our links and book a meeting. I'm gonna wait for a few more minutes if there are any more questions, and if not, then we're gonna end the session. Yes,
Yes,
Isa, please
Isa.
go ahead.
So for so you said कि LinkedIn को optimize करना है, वहाँ पे post वगैरह करनी है, तो what should we post on LinkedIn? क्योंकि हम अभी we are doing our undergraduate degree, तो उसके अंदर ऐसा इतना कुछ नहीं होता कि हम उसके ऊपर LinkedIn post बना सकें. So what should
Yeah,
उसके लिए
so
क्या post करना
देखो,
चाहिए?
I'm not asking you to, nobody from the CSO is asking you to become a LinkedIn influencer. पहली बात तो ये थोड़ी सी ना सब क्लैरिफाई कर लो. LinkedIn पे पोस्ट करने का मतलब है आपने अगर अपनी फील्ड से रिलेटेड कोई चीज सीखी है, किसी चीज का आपको पता चला है, तो यू पोस्ट अबाउट दैट एंड यू डोंट हैव टू डू इट एवरी वीक, एवरी डे. Sometimes I don't post. Most of the times I don't post, like I don't create a post. I repost things that I find relevant for my industry, for my role. I work in education, right? And career development. So I will, if I find a job opportunity which I feel like could really help my students or the people in my network, तो मैं वो repost कर देती हूँ. Sometimes I've also followed a lot of boards on LinkedIn, a lot of groups on LinkedIn, which are related to student engagement, student services. So this is my niche. ठीक है, this is my area. मैं उससे related content को repost कर देती हूँ. That is for my network. आपके network में, for example, if you have something to do with STEM, let's suppose, तो STEM में क्या emerging technologies आ रही हैं, क्या ट्रेंड्स चल रहे हैं, उसके ऊपर इतनी पोस्ट होती हैं लिंक्डइन पे, यू कैन रीपोस्ट दोस. और अगर बात आ रही है अपनी अचीवमेंट्स की, अपने पोस्ट की, तो आप अपनी पुरानी अचीवमेंट्स के बारे में भी लिख सकते हो. आपने कोई आर्टिकल पढ़ा है कहीं पे एंड यू हैव समथिंग टू से अबाउट दैट, यू कैन पोस्ट दैट. सो डोंट फोकस टू मच ऑन इट. At the same time, don't just leave it कि अच्छा मैंने कुछ भी नहीं post करना. Keep your account active. Posting is just for the algorithm to know कि आपका account functional है, dormant नहीं है, and it will keep on suggesting your account to other people who are in your network. या जिस तरह Instagram पे होता है ना, if you don't like something, it won't show up. Or like if you don't interact with something, it won't show up in someone else's feed. A lot of creators on Instagram talk about this. LinkedIn works in the same way. If you don't interact with the content, your post might not get shown in other people's feeds. तो एक इस चीज का बस ख्याल रखना. Any more questions before we end the session? There are many external grad school advisors that LUMS students go to the CSO offer the same services. So we do not endorse any grad school advisors or consultancies. अगर आप किसी के पास जाना चाहते हो, तो that's completely up to you. That's your call. And the way that any department in LUMS is going to advise you on grad study is going to be just support. ठीक है? I know a lot of external consultancies and grad study advisors, they do a lot more than just advisory and things that I don't think I should be mentioning. So that is completely your call कि आप किस तरह का support चाह रहे हो. अगर आपको एक initial discussion करनी है counseling के ऊपर, grad study counseling के ऊपर, we are available for that. You want me to review your personal statement? We're available for that. You want some assistance with understanding which colleges you should apply to? We're here for that. But if you're looking for some other type of assistance, which again I don't want to mention, so unfortunately that won't happen. जो information building वाला काम है वो हम आपके लिए कर सकते हैं, and of course support. Yeah, I think that I hope that answered your question. Is there any more questions? For the point of follow-up, should we follow up only when we have an interview or response from their side? Both. You are supposed to. Okay, so when we mentioned follow-up earlier, उसका मतलब था कि अगर for instance आपने मेरे साथ internship के लिए apply किया है and the interview was on 1st June and it's 18th June now. That's like 17 days, 17, 18 days, right? So you can send me a follow-up email or a message wherever we communicated. Okay, I'm just following up on the interview that I had on XYZ date. As I'm in the process of evaluating offers from multiple places, I just wanted to know when I could hear back from your organization so that I can make an informed decision or something like that. Be very polite and very to the point. और फॉलो अप आप इस केस में भी करो अगर आपको जवाब नहीं आ रहा और ऑफ कोर्स अगर आपको ऑफर आई है आपको इंटरव्यू आया तो तब तो आप करोगे आप जवाब दोगे प्लीज डोंट लीव रिक्रूटर्स हैंगिंग देयर वेटिंग फॉर योर रिस्पॉन्स और आप ये भी सोच ही रहे हो कि अच्छा मैंने जवाब देना है नहीं देना है ठीक है 1-2 दिन लो सोचने के लिए मशवरा करो आके सीएसओ से मशवरा करो किसी और से करना चाहते हो करो लेकिन जवाब आपको प्लीज देना चाहिए I'm asking what if we did not have an interview? That is what I meant. If you've applied somewhere and you haven't heard back from them, if they have given a deadline कि हम 14th जून के बाद आपको जवाब देंगे और आपको अभी भी जवाब नहीं आया और कभी कभार ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस मेंशन कर देती हैं कि इफ यू डोंट गेट अ रिस्पांस या एप्लीकेंट्स हु वोंट सिलेक्टेड वोंट गेट अ रिस्पांस तो वो तो आपको समझ आना चाहिए कि इफ यू डिड नॉट गेट अ रिस्पांस आफ्टर 14 दैट मींस योर एप्लीकेशन वाज रिजेक्टेड बट इफ देयर वाज नो कम्युनिकेशन ऑफ सच made clear from their side then you can follow up with them that's completely fine and I've also seen students follow up with people after they've been rejected from interviews and jobs just to get a feedback so that they don't make those same mistakes in their next interviews you guys can follow up whenever you want, as long as it's professional and polite. I hope that was helpful. Guys, we're gonna go ahead and end the session here. I am gonna ask you guys again to please fill out the feedback form. It's in the text that Aisha just shared, Aisha Majid. And yeah, do check out our pages, LinkedIn, Instagram. For the LUMS community, we also have a Facebook group. You guys can join that as well. All of those are administered by CSO, so you won't have to worry about the credibility of information that's being shared. Yeah, that's it. If you guys have any more queries that weren't dealt with during the session, so please feel free to reach out at cso@lums.edu.pk. Take care, everyone. Allah Hafiz.